National Examination Council (NACO) announced the release of the 2024 June/July Senior School Certificate Examination SSC results. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) commences the distribution of sensitive materials and the bimodal voter accreditation system (BVAS) to the 18 council areas of Edo State. On the foreign scene, a second deadly wave of explosions in the strongholds of Lebanon's Hezbollah left it in disarray. Details of these and more will come to you shortly. Please stay with us. And now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu will not attend the 79th United Nations General Assembly session in New York this year. A statement from Bayo Ononuga, Special Advisor to the President Information and Strategy, said the President has thus directed Vice President Kashim Shettima to lead Nigeria's delegation. President Tinubu, who returned to the country last Sunday after his trip to China and the United Kingdom, wants to focus on domestic issues and address some of the country's challenges, especially after the recent devastating flood. Ononuga said at UNGA 79, Vice President Shettima will deliver Nigeria's national statement to the General Assembly, attend important sideline event and hold bilateral meetings. The high-level general debate with the theme "Leaving No One Behind, Acting Together for the Advancement of Peace, Sustainable Development and Human Dignity for Present and Future Generations" will run from Tuesday, September 24 through Saturday, September 28, 2024. Vice President Kashim Shettima has charged regulatory agencies to eliminate overlaps and align their actions with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's agenda for economic growth and improved ease of doing business in Nigeria. This, the Vice President said, is crucial in driving the coordinator of transparency and global competitiveness required for the nation's economic transformation. Senator Shettima stated this on Thursday during the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council (PBEC) Regulators Forum to build an effective regulatory impact framework for Nigeria held at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Underscoring the importance of streamlining the regulatory system, the VP said the success of this forum does not solely depend on the ability to collaborate, share knowledge and align the regulatory actions with the broader national agenda. Vice President charged the regulators to heed to President Tinubu's call to action, noting that the President envisions a country where regulatory excellence drives economic growth, attracts investment and ultimately improves the quality of life for all citizens. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Betekun, in an effort to strategically place a police force well efficient for effective policing, has ordered the immediate redeployment of the Commissioners of Police of Rivers State Command, Delta State Command and the Federal Capital Territory. The order covers the redeployment of the CP Rivers State Command, CP Olatunji Disu, as the new CP FCT, CP Delta State Command, CP Abaniwanda Olufemi as the new CP River State Command, and CP FCT CP Peter Opara as the new CP Delta State. The force in a statement issued and signed by its Public Relations Officer, Muyiwa Dijobi, added that following the approval of the Police Service Commission, the Inspector General of Police has also deployed 4 CPs as Commissioners of Police for Abia, Lagos, Ebonyi and Akwa Ibom State Commands. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) on Thursday commenced the distribution of sensitive materials and a bimodal voter accreditation system (BVAS) to the 18 council areas to Edo State. The exercise restarted as early as 8 a.m. at the CBN headquarters in Benin City, the state capital, amid heavy downpour, saw the political parties' representatives checking to ensure orderliness. Policemen from the State Police Command headquarters as well as plainclothes policemen were on ground to prevent a breakdown of law and order as journalists scrambled to get a glimpse of the materials. The Edo Resident Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Anogum Onoha, supervised the exercise as vehicles were seen taking materials to various local government areas under the supervision of the Special Police Unit. The INEC REC assured residents of a hitch-free exercise, saying the process of inspecting the sensitive materials have been a transparent one for all parties to witness. It will be recalled that the Nigerian Air Force had on Wednesday airlifted the materials to Benin City before today's exercise. The National Examinations Council (NECO) has announced the release of the 2024 June/July Senior School Certificate Examination result, with 60.55% of candidates achieving 5 credit or more, including English language and mathematics. NECO Registrar Professor Dantani Ibrahim Mushishi revealed this information during a press briefing at the NECO headquarters in Mina, Niger State on Thursday. According to Professor Wushishi, a total of 1,376,423 candidates registered for the examination, comprising 700,609 males and 669,473 females. Out of this, over 1 million candidates sat for the exam, including 702,112 males and 665,624 females. Correspondent Kulujo reports that the result showed that 828,284 candidates representing 60.55% obtained 5 credits and above, including English and mathematics, while over 1 million candidates, or 83.90%, secured 5 credits or more, regardless of English and mathematics. You're still on to Galaxy Primetime News, and coming up next. The Court of Appeal in Abuja grants the request of the federal government and the former Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Samuel Onogan, to settle out of court an appeal challenging his removal as CJN. Details of these and more will come to you shortly. Do stay with us. We're glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GalaxyTVNews. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. You can also avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share a story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 018-6666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comment, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. The Court of Appeal in Abuja on Thursday granted a request of the federal government and former Chief Justice of Nigeria CJN Justice Samuel Nkanu Walter Onogan to settle out of court an appeal challenging his removal as CJN. The decision of the court followed information to the effect that the two parties in the suit have intensified efforts to reach an amicable settlement of all issues in dispute. Former President Muhammadu Buhari had in 2019 removed Onogan as the Chief Justice of Nigeria during the pendency of a charge against him at the Code of Conduct Tribunal. Correspondent Kunuju reports that at the Thursday's proceedings, the appeal led counsel to the former CJN Orogu James Onoja informed the three-man panel of justices of the appeal court that the two parties are already having discussions on a peaceful resolution of the dispute. Onoja informed the court that the parties had an engagement up until Wednesday, September 18, and expressed optimism that the discussion would bear fruitful result. The senior lawyer subsequently appealed to the appellate court for a one-month adjournment for final settlement of the matter. Federal government lawyer Tijani Ghazali corroborated the submission of Onoja and requested that the matter be shifted forward for a possible amicable settlement. The classification of electricity supply between Band A to E is a way to ensure improvement in power supply, especially for business district. But to some Nigerians, extending it to other areas is another way of compounding the economic woes of the people, especially the low-income earners. Galaxy News correspondent Lebby Joseph takes a look at this development in this report.
Genuine as the original plan of electricity distribution companies in Nigeria for classification in power supply, to Nigerians, it's an added problem to them. People are boycotting many of their electrical appliances to reduce power consumption in their respective homes because on Band A, it will cost 209 naira for 5 kilowatts, which is far higher from the previous rate of 206 naira to 80 kilowatts.
Band E, it's like putting the cart before the horse. You know, it's a knee-jerk solution. It's like you are doing in those days what we call wuru to the answer. The solution that doesn't have the template, doesn't have the working out. To arrive at the solution. You see, this issue of banding cannot work because it doesn't have the rudiments of its basis.
But if the Nigerians are not saying no, we don't want a constant power supply, we want it just 2 hours a day, then they put them on that 2 hours a day, then they will also be clamoring that there is no power supply. Because there is no power supply, that's why we don't have machine to grind our cassava. That is why corn cannot be produced. That is why rice cannot be produced. Then they still complain. So which one do they want? According to economic philosophy, they say human wants are insatiable. So nobody can satisfy Nigeria.
The regulatory scheme is also designed to support investment towards the improvement of power infrastructure and consequently improvement in quality of supply. Consumers on Band A are expected to have 20 hours power supply, and these feats may not be feasible with the faulty and old electricity installations across the streets of Nigeria.
What do I mean by that? Look at the one they have been doing in other regions. I'm in Band A in my area, and I knew that I don't use light for 20 hours they are talking about. They give us Band A on the condition that we'll be having light for 20 hours. But we don't have it. Who do we complain to? Nobody. And now they are trying to spread it all over, telling us that when they have, when they indirectly increase the price of the light or the electricity, it will bring back quality of supply. It doesn't work out.
Because looking at it from one angle, I can say for the past 30 years in Nigeria, Nigerians have not enjoyed power supply as it is today, particularly those in Band A. Then they can testify to that. The light doesn't blink. If it blinks maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, bring back it. Which is a scorecard for the government. So if everybody is on that Band A, that means that all Nigerians will be enjoying constant power supply, at least 20 to 22 hours a day, which is reasonable.
Nigerians' expectations for improvement in power supply is not about increase in the tariff, but stable and constant supply, and to achieve this, several electricity cables, transformers needed to be changed. From Lagos, this is Lebby Joseph reporting for Galaxy TV News.
The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has decried the current economic situation in the nation, demanding for dialogue with the federal government and measures to alleviate the sufferings of Nigerians. Addressing a news conference in Abuja on Thursday, Universal President of NANS, Loki Emenefo, lamented over the unbearable sufferings the perennial fuel crisis impacted on the welfare and academic pursuit of the students. The NANS president, while expressing concerns over the prevailing high cost and the crippling of the economic nationwide, called on the federal government to expedite action in finding lasting solutions to the lingering fuel crisis in the country. He further demanded for the inclusion of the Students' Union in the Palliative Distribution Committee to aid the effective distribution of the palliatives to all Nigerians, especially the students and youth.
Nevertheless, we demand explanation and measure to alleviate this suffering. Our demands as future leaders of this great nation are as follows. 1. Meaningful dialogue. The leadership of NANS has resolved to dialogue with the federal government of Nigeria, led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, on the state of the nation economy. We call on the federal government to engage the leadership of NANS productively on the state of our economy, enabling us to relay this message to our constituents across the nation.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Bala Abubakar, has tasked graduating cadets of the Nigerian Defense Academy (NDA) to be ready to meet the high expectations of the Armed Forces of Nigeria. Abubakar gave this charge to cadets in his remarks as a special guest of honor at the NDA 2024 meeting of the Retreat and Prize Giving Ceremony, which was held in Afaka, Kaduna State. Speaking further, the Chief of Air Staff reminded the graduating cadets of 71 regular course and direct short service course, 28 Army and 32 Air Force, that considerable resources had been invested into building their capacity and shaping their character development through quality military training and a sound academic foundation. He therefore called on the cadets to always put the nation first and give their best in the defense of her territorial integrity and protection of the people. Earlier in his address, the Commandant Nigerian Defense Academy, Major General John Ochai, said this set of cadets are the largest set in the history of the Academy to pass out of the NDA, while urging them to be good ambassadors of the Academy after presidential commissioning.
Longer news that we live in challenging times marked by a global and local security landscape that is increasingly violent, uncertain, complex and ambiguous. The Armed Forces of Nigeria have been a bulwark for the defense of our beloved nation, and many of you will be launched straight into the ongoing counterinsurgency and internal security operations.
To the passing out cadets, I want to congratulate you on your achievement. You have risen to the challenge of training, and we salute your perseverance. We recognize, therefore, the 823 passing out cadets who have made history today as being the largest number of passing out cadets this academy has ever produced.
Passing out cadets, it is a time that the country is going through a lot of security challenges in form of banditry, terrorism, and other criminalities. I'm very sure, and I have no doubt that they have gone through a lot of training that has prepared them adequately to be able to engage with the challenges that are going to face in the field.
Operations Well-Struck is to deploy more troops to curtail the rising herdsmen attacks in Guer West local government area of Benue State. The sector commander, OPWS Lieutenant Colonel Isa Inusa, disclosed this while addressing a joint Supreme Council of Teoshin Traditional Rulers and Teoshin Socio-Cultural Organization, while on condolence with the community over the persistent killings in the local government. He assured the community of proactive measures in protecting the areas and called for support to enable troops succeed in the operations. The new national president, Ocean Development Association (TDA) Chief Timothy appreciated Operation Railstroke for their efforts in securing the communities and called on the people of the local government to support every peace effort of bringing peace to the communities.
Serious effort, deployment in strategic locations, and we will need your support, especially the youth. And we will continue to work with you. We're here to serve you, and we assure you that we will put in our best.
Day in, day out. So just be rest assured, and I assure you that the leadership is not going to be a joke. If you can't do it, it's either you decide to stay back now or you join the train, because the train is a moving train. And like Mother Teresa would say, the world is full of good people. If you can't find one, then be one yourself, and the world will be a better place.
Meanwhile, the chairman, Board of Trustees, Ocean Development Association (TDA), Chief Daniel Abomitse, while inaugurating the national executive members of the association, applauded the supportive rules of Operation Railstroke drafted in the area and called for the rejig of the rank and files of its personnel and tasked the new ESCO to work closely with the security agencies as well as stakeholders to ensure all the IDPs return to their ancestral homes.
Now the supporting roles and operations of the Operation Railstroke, drafted to allow to assist in the task of the daunting security challenges since 2018. The OPS personnel have put in their best for us, but more is desired to be achieved. There are likely possibilities of collusion with the armed bandits or killer herdsmen. There is also the likely tendency of compromise and sheer acts of inactions noticed in their operational activities, which make us call for a rejig of personnel.
The Nigeria Customs Service and CS Area 1 Port Harcourt have handed over illicit drugs seized at the Port Harcourt International Airport to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Port Harcourt, the River State capital. Addressing journalists and other stakeholders during the handover, the controller of the command, Mustafa Hashim, said the breakthrough was made possible through collaborative effort of the Nigeria Customs and other security agencies using effective intelligence. The consignment, believed to have originated from India, was imported into the country illegally through international airlines from Frankfurt to the Port Harcourt airport.
Cargoes were smuggled into the country in 2 batches, 6 packages in the first instance and 3 packages thereafter. The controlled substance were closely monitored on arrival by our eagle-eyed intelligence units that waited patiently for the consignee or the custom agents to come forward for capturing and assessment of his consignment.
In his response, while receiving the seized illicit drugs, the NDLEA Commander, Port Harcourt International Airport Command, Negedu Nathaniel, corroborated the position of the customs controller on synergy among security agencies and assured of prosecuting whosoever is involved in the importation of the seized items. Briefing newsmen after the handover of the illicit drugs, the controller said his command has generated a total of revenue of over 142 billion naira between January and August 2024.
Assignment you are seeing just being handed over are the result of the dexterity of officers in our synergy to put off illicit drug in the nation's territory. We are receiving this drug, but I'm still expecting to have the suspect.
Of the command in the first quarter of 2024 was estimated at 184.221 billion and was later reviewed upward to 230.277 billion due to the upward trajectory of the command's revenue performance. The notable rise in revenue can be attributed to various factors, including enhanced operational efficiency, successful implementation of new revenue-generating initiatives, creating an enabling environment for trade and increased market demand. It is also a testament to our team's dedication and the successful execution of our strategic goals.
A senior advocate of Nigeria, Chief Niyi Akintola San, has expressed fears that the July 11 Supreme Court judgment on local government financial autonomy might remain another paper judgment only implementable in the nation's statutes and law report, though he noted that the judgment, if implemented, had prospect for good governance. Akintola noted that the issues with the judgment include the fact that it usurped the functions of the National Assembly to make or amend laws, failed to take into account the sociological fact of the country and the various local government areas. Akintola made these observations as keynote speaker at the Professor Antonia Sinbine-led National Institute for Social and Economic Research seminar series with the theme Reflections on the Supreme Court's Judgment on Local Government Financial Autonomy, held at the Institute in Ibadan, Oyo State.
London, the Secretary of a state, appointing staff for local government, director of this, director of that, director of agri, where there is no farm, director of estate, where there is no estate. These are the kind of things we are seeing. It's not just at the state level that this is happening. Even there are MDAs and ministries at the federal level that are tampering with the funds of the local government.
In her opening remarks, Director General NISA Professor Antonia Sinbine said the seminar aimed at the development of actionable plans for implementation of Supreme Court judgments towards having effective local government administration.
The judgment that we received, it is important to really understand what it means and how it can be taken forward in terms of implementation. And I think that the keynote speaker has really brought out all the issues, telling us that there's so much that has been brought up by the judgment.
I've personally done an x-ray of what the Supreme Court has done. Laudable as it is, would appear to me to be like work in progress. There is no way financial autonomy can birth meaningfully without a corresponding administrative autonomy. It is very important to also look at the process of enthroning leadership at the local government level. It is very critical.
The Director General of the National Automotive Design and Development Council, NADDC, has emphasized that the compressed natural gas CNG initiative is a cheaper form of energy. The NADDC board stated this in Ado-Ekiti at the 5-day training program of auto technicians on the technicalities and procedures for the conversion of PMS to CNG-powered vehicles, with no fewer than 35 participants drawn from the 16 local government of Ekiti State. The DG equally explained that the CNG initiative is a cleaner source of energy, adding that it will also create a lot of employment opportunities for citizens of the country. In his address, Ekiti State Governor Dapo Oyibanji, who was represented by the Commissioner for Infrastructure and Public Utilities, Professor Mobolaji Aluko, reiterated the commitment of the state government to the CNG initiative. He revealed that more conversion centers and mobile stations for refueling will be made available in the state.
When you look at the cost of commercial transportation in Nigeria, the major element that influences the cost most is the cost of price of petrol, PMS or AGO. And even when you go to other manufacturing companies, every other company use either gen. When you are using generator, the major element of providing that line is the cost of AGO. So now, if you are using CNG, we can bring that cost down by 70 to 80%. Any free conversion now will just be demonstration of that. But the essence of the conversion is that whatever you spend in doing the conversion, you get back very quickly in terms of the operation.
A $5 million e-waste battery recycling company is to be set up in Ogun State by investors in conjunction with the British government. The British High Commissioner in Nigeria, Richard Montgomery, disclosed this when he led some officials of the Commission on a courtesy call on the state governor, Prince Dakpo Abiodun, in his office at Abeokuta. When operational, the e-waste recycling company is expected to bring new technology, create employment opportunities for the teeming population of youth and best in Africa. The governor assured them of investment favorable policies and program adequate security of investment.
Stated the fact that we must be very business-like. We must ensure that we remove as much red tape as possible and bureaucracy in terms of our business processes. And to that extent, we created the Ogun State Investment Promotion and Facilitation Agency. We also have what we call the Ogun State Business Environment Council. And both agencies ensure that, their whole idea for them is to handhold potential investors and take them through the processes and reduce, bureaucracy to an absolute minimum.
UK roots is bringing not just a new recycling plant, but bringing new technology to deal with a issue which is going to be a growing concern, a growing market, given the solar, the electric vehicles and all the mobile digital technologies that we use, which need lithium batteries. And this technology will help add to the value chain of this market. And I just want to say congratulations for the government and Hinkley coming to a collective agreement, which I hope will be beneficial for all sides.
So I and Hinkley, e-waste recycling, have taken it upon ourselves to establish Africa's first lead acid and lithium battery recycling plant here in Ogun State, supported by Manufacturing Africa and under the British government, and also getting a lot of support, as you can tell, from Organ Invest, who have supported us through this project and investment.
Continue to grow as an industrial state. We are concerned with the well-being and the health of our people, so that we will not do this to jeopardize the health of our citizens. For electronic waste, Hinkley happens to be the first company that I know of that has started this aggregation and treatment of electronic waste in Nigeria.
Primary school teachers under the Nigerian Union of Teachers (NUTFCT) wing have embarked on an indefinite strike over unpaid entitlement and other unresolved industrial issues. The union announced that it has directed all primary school teachers in the territory to resume the suspended strike action starting from Wednesday. This was revealed in a communique signed by the state FCT chairman, Comrade Abdullahi Ishafa, and issued at the end of the State Wing Executive Council meeting of the Nigerian Union of Teachers (NUTFCT) wing at the FCT Teachers House, Gwagwalada, Abuja. The communique stated that all public primary schools in the FCT are to remain closed until the union's demands are met. The communique appealed to teachers to remain calm and disregard any counter directives except as directed by the union. The SWEC in session acknowledged and applauded the effort of the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, for his intervention and payment of 40% of the total sum of 25-month minimum wage arrears to the primary school teachers. However, the SWEC in session noted with great displeasure the non-response of the council chairman to the 14-day ultimatum issued to them, nor did they address the industrial issues addressed. The federal government has been advised to comprehensively review educational policies in an attempt to promote inclusion of technology as a channel to a viral educational system. Professor Samuel Ogunwale Ogundiro of the Department of Educational Foundation, Faculty of Education, National Open University Abuja, gave the recommendation while delivering the 28th inaugural lecture of the institution. Correspondent Kulujo completes the story.
Speaking on the topic, educational administration and technology, a marriage of inconvenience, Professor Samuel Ogundiro identified lack of managerial competency, weak community relations, favoritism, ethics, among others, are some of the challenges facing educational administration in Nigeria. He added that educational administration and technology experience inconvenience due to disparity among educational institutions, saying the adoption of CBT examination by JAMB does not mean that WAEC will adopt the same method.
The challenges that face education at the various levels and during the various eras, especially during the era of colonial and institutional administration of education in Nigeria, the problem we witnessed has been summarized under this category. For the sake of our time, of the society from mechanical state to organic state is considered to be an inevitable occurrence, and this occurrence is being facilitated by the philosophy of information communication technology, and that is cited by Ogundiro 2016 and also in 2018.
As panacea to the observed inconvenience, Professor Ogundiro advised that the concern of infrastructure, training and financial motivation must be considered to facilitate engagement of educational administrators with technology. He added that adequate policies from the government to substantiate the use of technology within the administrative ambit of the educational system. On his part, the Vice Chancellor, National Open University of Nigeria, Professor Lufemi Peters, commended the intellectual sagacity of the inaugural lecturer, saying the inconvenience between technology and education should be well managed for rapid socio-economic development in Nigeria.
Of ICT, which support to enhance effective administration and knowledge sharing culture as evidence of quality educational administration. But see what is happening today. Some educational administrators, they find it difficult to cope with the use of this technology to drive in their potential, to drive in their educational leadership functions, as they still stick to the traditional way of teaching and learning, or traditional way of school administration.
Is there really an inconvenience of educational management and technology? Is there really? The good news that I want to spread about this discussion today, it is a fait accompli. There can't be an inconvenience, because the marriage of inconvenience is only a matter of time, as the event, current global realities tells us. And I don't going to justify that by, if you turn to page 2038.
The event was attended by notable academics from within and outside the institution. From the Open University in Abuja, Kunle Ojo, Galaxy TV.
You're still on to Galaxy Primetime News. We'll quickly take a break and when we return, the news continues. Just stay with us. Well, glad to have you back. Governor Hyacinth Elie has handed over a truck of palliatives he confiscated recently in Makurdi to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) and the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission (ICPC) with a charge to conduct a thorough investigation over suspicions of diversion. The truck conveying assorted relief materials meant for IDPs in Kwandu, Ushongo Federal Constituency was caught offloading palliative at a private residence around Kilometer 2 in Makurdi. It was discovered that the palliatives, which were loaded from a National Emergency Management Agency NEMA warehouse in Jos, had found their way to a private residence, allegedly under the directives of Honorable Tese Ubo, the representatives of the Kwandu Ushongo Federal Constituency. According to investigations, it was revealed that the goods were coming from the National Emergency Management Agency NEMA and were meant to be sponsored by the state government and lifted by the State Emergency Management Agency SEMA. In its effort to complement government effort in reducing maternal and infant mortality in Nigeria, son of the president, Seyi Tinubu, has launched drug banks to cater for the medical needs of poor patients in Asaba, the Delta State capital. The event, which took place at the Federal Medical Center in Asaba, is described as an health intervention scheme meant to surpass the Sustainable Development Goal 3 in Nigeria. Fielded questions from newsmen after the launch, the president's son, who was represented by the national coordinator, Dr. Ayodele Benson Cole, said the scheme is not political but about reaching out to the needy. Also speaking, the chief medical director of the Federal Medical Center, Dr. Victor Usitwa, expressed joy over the gesture.
How it's going to be supported is squarely something that Mr. Seyi Tinubu is passionate about, and this will be supported. And like I said earlier, this is not politics. It is about reaching out to Nigerians that have need and in a way that it can actually touch lives. And it is for the indigent patients, not for those that can pay for their services.
Overjoyed that this is happening today because it's going to make our job a lot easier. What we face on a daily basis is that you have patients who are brought to the hospital and dumped. Maybe because of the economic situation in the country, that number is rising by the day. Patients come to the hospital, no money, nothing, helpless, in a very bad health condition.
And I'll move over to the foreign desk for more news. Hello and welcome to the foreign news. A second deadly wave of unprecedented explosions in the stronghold of Lebanon's Hezbollah left in disarray on Thursday, hours before a major speech by its Bulgarian leader Hassan Nasrallah. The latest batch of the fight explosions killed 20 people and wounded more than 450 others on Wednesday, stoking fears of a full-blown war with Israel. The blast came a day after the simultaneous detonation of pagers used by Hezbollah killed 12 people, including 2 children, and wounded up to 2,800 others across Lebanon in an unprecedented attack blamed on Israel. Walkie-talkies used by its members exploded in the latest blast at Hezbollah Beirut stronghold, a source close to the group said, with state media reporting similar detonations in South and East Lebanon. Footage showed people running for cover when an explosion went off during a funeral for Hezbollah militant in South Beirut in the afternoon. The wave of enemy explosions that targeted walkie-talkies killed 20 people and wounded more than 450, Lebanon's health ministry said in a statement. There was no comment from Israel, which only hours before Tuesday's explosion had announced it was broadening the aims of its war in Gaza to include its fight against Hamas ally Hezbollah. Meanwhile, Lebanon has suffered 2 days of seemingly random explosions of handheld communication devices used by Hezbollah members across the country and in Syria. Analysts say this has opened a new chapter in the decades-old conflict between the two sides. After detonations of pagers and walkie-talkie radio headsets across 2 days, the death toll in Israel and Lebanon stands at 37, with thousands injured. In keeping with many previous attacks, Israel has yet to admit responsibility or comment on events. An Israeli citizen has been arrested on suspicion of being involved in a plot by Iran to assassinate Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other top officials. Israel's security services say. Israeli police and domestic intelligence said the man was twice smuggled into Iran and received payment to carry out missions. In a joint statement, they said the suspect was a businessman who had lived in Turkey and had Turkish contact who had helped get him into Iran. The statement said the suspect, who was not identified, was arrested last month. It said his targets were the Prime Minister, the Defense Minister and the head of Israel Internal Security Agency, Shin Bet. Investigators say the Israeli demanded an advanced payment of $1 million. The group are also alleged to have discussed killing opponents of the Iranian regime in Europe and the US and recruiting a Mossad operative to become a double agent. And still on the foreign news, the United Nations General Assembly UNGA has overwhelmingly voted to support a resolution demanding an end to Israel's illegal occupation of occupied Palestinian territory within a year, with Palestinians' UN ambassador calling the vote a turning point. The non-binding measure passed a 124-14 vote, with 43 countries abstaining. No major Western country except Israel's closest ally, the United States, voted against a resolution that isolates Israel days before world leaders gather for the annual UN gathering in New York. 5 women say they were raped by former Hardos boss Mohammed Al-Fayed when they worked at the luxury London department store. The testimony has been heard from more than 20 female ex-employees who say the billionaire who died last year, aged 94, sexually assaulted or raped them. The documentary and podcast Al-Fayed, Predator at Harrods, gathered evidence that during Fayed's ownership, Harrods not only failed to intervene but helped cover up abuse allegations. Harrods' current owners said they were utterly appalled by the allegations and that his victims have been failed, for which the store sincerely apologized. The incident took place in London, Paris, St. Tropez and Abu Dhabi. And finally, in foreign news, Canada is implementing significant adjustments to its temporary residence program to better manage the influx of temporary residents and ensure system integrity. The government says it is reducing the intake cap for international student study permit by 10% for 2025 and introducing stricter eligibility requirements for work permit. These changes, according to a Thursday news release, aim to align Canada's immigration policies with evolving economic and humanitarian needs while maintaining a sustainable and effective system. A report from Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada on Thursday morning announces changes to Canada's temporary residence programs to better manage the volume of temporary residents, uphold the integrity of the immigration system and protect vulnerable people. And that's all we have on the foreign news. And now we'll move over to entertainment news.
Welcome to Entertainment News. My name is Rose Blossom. Here are the stories on Entertainment News Desk today.
It is the birthday of the legendary singer Innocent Idibia, better known as Tubaba or Two-Face, and his wife Annie Idibia has poured out her heart to him. Taking to her Instagram page to share some throwback photos of them over the years, she promised to love him till death, as she boldly declared that he is still the one. The mother of two told him he got it all as she wished him pure happiness. According to report from a day back, Bisola Badmus, who is currently battling a brain tumor, opened up on her co-parenting struggles with her son's father, Nigerian Fuji singer King Wasiu Ayinde Marshal, better known as Kwam1 or K1. She said she initially didn't tell him about her sickness, but he got to know and helped her for a while until he stopped responding to her calls. Reaching out to him, she stated that she wants him to take care of the responsibilities of their son, as it isn't been easy for her. Following her cry out, many Nigerians have offered assistance to her, with some offering to sponsor her son through school. Her colleague, Biola Bayo, via her Instagram page, made the good news known as she expressed gratitude to those who have been supporting her. An in-drive cab driver has threatened legal action against actress Adunia Ade over a dispute stemming from his refusal to deliver her package. Despite his legal threat, she has promptly pulled out and posted her receipt on social media. It all began on September 18, 2024, when the actress called the driver named Francis Njoku and the hailing platform out on platform, alleging that he took off with her package and was not picking up calls. Her post garnered significant attention on social media, and her followers joined her to call in drive out. Later that night, Adunia Ade announced that Njoku delivered her package after his profile was locked by the platform. However, it did not end there. On September 19, Adunia Ade took to Instagram with screenshots showing all her interactions with Njoku and a fashion designer who sent the package out. Some of the screenshots showed the disgruntled Njoku slamming the actress for smearing his name and threatening legal action against her. Veteran actress Joke Silva has called for the eradication of all forms of sexual harassment against women in the film industry and negative stereotypes. Silva, who is the President Forum of Women in Film and TV in Nigeria, said this at the Women in Film and TV conference in Lagos. The importance of women in the film industry is paramount to shaping our nation, so we need a safe and conducive environment to thrive. All forms of sexual harassment in the film industry must be eradicated, as it kills the nation in so many ways that you cannot imagine. It is also important that we get rid of all forms of negative stereotypes in films where we paint some things in a certain way, while in reality it truly isn't like that. We also need more women in the government in order to make policies and strengthen our stance in the country, she said.
And that'll be all on entertainment news. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Rose Blossom Mwoye. Bye for now.
And that's all we have on Guardsy Primetime News. Thank you so much for being a part of the news. My name